There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Smark City podcast. And this is a different voice where you see Smark City this time because,
The tables have turned.
yes, the tables where we sign contracts have turned.
Oh my God.
YouTube and Google have fucked us over.
That was fucking bullshit.
And I had to do some things that it seems like I didn't have to do anyway, because we're here and only one of us has downloaded the new bullshit that they've required us to download.
I did too much. You did too little. We found a happy medium. I think we're good. Let's just let's not fuck this up ever again. Oh, that was awful.
Yeah, let's not.
Well, let's introduce ourselves for anyone who's not watched this shitty show before.
My name, Drew Nicholas, and with this very interesting little picture here that nobody's seen who's listened to this before, looks like a little Finn Balor and a little demon behind Finn Balor, doesn't it?
Shout out to whoever made it. I found it online, and it's awesome, and I'm keeping it because it's amazing. I really should find the artist who did it and shout them out because it's cool. What were you saying?
Your name, please.
Oh, my name's Alex. Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, man. Good time to meet you the first time ever.
We don't know each other. We just
happened upon a shitty show that Google and YouTube tried to conspire to fuck us over with. Anyway, SmackDown was a thing that happened tonight. You want to?
Yeah, I mean, there was... What was there not to like on this show tonight?
I think the loss of words kind of tells you.
Yeah, really.
It was a good show. I mean, there are parts that weren't that great, but like the show is so quality that like you sit through one segment that's not so great. Like Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, I don't know. I kind of sped through it. I was catching up after doing yard work and kind of trying to speed through to catch up, and they fell victim to the fast forward. But yeah, I mean, like the women's stuff was amazing, the men's stuff was amazing, the Miz is amazing.
The opening segment was amazing.
John Cena getting in Dean Ambrose's face was fucking amazing.
That was probably the loudest and deepest voice "Let's go Cena" or Cena whatever chanting
I've ever heard.
Yeah,
and except for like when he first came up as a heel, like that's it. I've never heard it that loud and that bassy. I guess is the phrase. That was cool. And you know what? I want to shout out to SmackDown. This is the first time it feels like WWE is ahead of the curve on somebody's trending a certain way. You know how the crowd kind of turned on Roman Reigns and it took a year for WWE to catch on? Ambrose is kind of getting lost in the shuffle with Cena doing so well and Styles doing so well and The Miz doing so well. And you could see it in that opening segment of people were cheering Styles and Cena more than they were cheering Ambrose. So what is the solution to that? He goes and I don't know if it was a heel turn, but it was like no more Mr. Nice Ambrose, that's for sure.
Yeah, not only did... It seemed like it was almost right in that opening segment, too, that he was starting to turn.
Yeah, and the crowd loved it. They ate it up. They booed him so hard. That was, like I said, the first time
that he gives Cena that DDT, right? That's what he does?
Whatever.
Dirty Deeds, right.
Dirty Deeds. But yeah, it's a DDT. Anyway, it's the first time I can remember that WWE's been ahead of the curve on turning someone heelish or tweenerish or something.
Yeah, because they did it with the Usos about a year too late.
About a year late, yeah. About a year. I mean, they're going to have to do it to Enzo and Cass eventually the way they're going, like, at least for me.
Me too.
Like, okay, Enzo, I'm punching the face. Stop it.
I thought it was kind of funny, though. I love his voice when he does that.
I love his voice, but I hate the fact that he does it every time he's on television.
Oh, yeah, that too. Then that's the thing, too.
Especially when there are not haters around. That really bugs me. Like Johnny Stars are handing out
What's he going up to people backstage, and all of a sudden everyone's a hater now? That's actually that actually could be a great a heel move of theirs.
Like delusional, yeah. But it's like, come on, man. The Shining Stars are just trying to get people to come to Puerto Rico. I mean, they're trying to help the Puerto Rican economy. Like, they're not doing anything haterish. They're not hating on anybody. They're just trying to do their own thing. And then you come up, what we got over here? Shut up.
You tried the Enzo voice. You almost got there.
I could do it a little more. I did it more like boisterous than he does it. He does it. What do we got over here?
I'm
stringy voice.
You know, I should be trying that.
You should. Well, go for it.
No, I'm not embarrassed.
I have nothing would embarrass me. So whatever. And then Big Cass is kind of bugging me too. Why are we talking about Raw? It's the only thing we can complain about, I guess. That's why we're going that way.
Well, the other thing too with SmackDown, the Bray stuff.
Yeah, I can't tell you the one thing I can hate on is Jack Swagger. I've never ever cared for anything he's ever done in his career, and the fact that he's now on SmackDown makes SmackDown a worse show. But beyond that, you know, I joked that on Twitter I was behind, and Drew was on the Smark City Twitter, and he's like, "Oh, Jack Swagger," and I'm like, "Well, that's an immediate deduction of a letter grade for SmackDown." But you know, I mean, not really. I thought that show was like the show tonight was an A. That was another thing I fast forwarded through, by the way. Was
I didn't really
go away Swagger. I don't care.
It seemed a little bit more confident and enthusiastic, though, I have to say.
I fast forward. He looked the exact same through the fast forward.
He showed like a bit of confidence in his promo, so I don't know. It seemed like it was kind of rejuvenated.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying.
First off, to be rejuvenated, you had to have been juvenated in the first place, and he's never been anything but just a stale pile of nothing.
Yeah, what I was
pile of dead leaves have more entertainment value than him. Anyway.
Izzy from NXT has more entertainment value than him.
Who?
Izzy.
Izzy? Yeah, Izzy's awesome, dude. Don't hate on Izzy.
She's all right. I'm getting around to her.
She's just a fan. What you hate is the marketing of showing her all the time. That's WWE. Don't hate on Izzy. Poor Izzy just loves wrestling. Like, come on,
her father also blocked me on Twitter. But
yeah, her father's a dweeb. You know,
he'll probably block you on Twitter now too.
I don't. First off, I don't care.
A_brigade, by the way.
A_brigade. Anyway, and he's a Balor fan, so that, you know, for me to be criticizing him, you got to know I feel strongly.
How do you know that he's a dweeb?
I mean, because he just looks like one and acts like one on television.
Boy, are we judgmental tonight?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, like it's a superficial form of judgment, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's a lovely guy in person, but as part of the product of the show where they show him and he's like, like, go away, stop it, stop being weird.
That's like Frank the Clown on the WWE Network.
Fuck Frank, man. And I don't want to hate on him because I don't know him and stuff, but fuck Frank.
Why not?
Let's talk about SmackDown because that's the fucking shit.
Yeah, so the thing that I didn't like about SmackDown was the Bray segment.
Yeah, you don't like anything about the Bray thing.
And no, I really don't. I'm so upset, even more so now. If I wasn't upset already from the 50-year-old demon and the leg and concussed Randy Orton beating Bray, now, after I said on my podcast the other day, well, it's really best for him to just be a singles competitor and not be with his family again. What do? Eric Rowan.
Yeah, I told you. Wow. Yeah, I told you on the Backlash podcast that I liked what they did in a vacuum. Well, we're out of the vacuum, and I do not like it.
Yeah.
So, they don't know how to book him. They don't know what to do with him. I think they're biding their time. I know exactly what they're doing, actually. They say that Luke Harper is, I mean, just he could be back next week. So it could be reuniting the original Wyatt family, and they'll think that's going to get Bray back on top. I don't think so.
Don't think so either.
I don't think so. I think what you need honestly, I could see Luke staying with him, but he needs to become more of an independent guy if they do it. And they need to do something to make Bray and Luke, if they're going to go that way, much darker, dangerous, and heelish. And I don't know if WWE has it in them. What I would do is I'd have the two of them beat the shit out of Eric Rowan and just throw him to the curb, and the two of them are just kind of roaming, killing motherfuckers left and right. You know what I mean? And then you have Luke coming after Miz or something on his own while Bray's working AJ Styles or something. And that would be good. But that's as far as I can feel like the family's going to work anymore.
That would be good, but we all know what they're really going to do.
They're going to go exactly to where they were. And
but you know what, though? They might not even do that. They might, since it's SmackDown, they might do something a little bit different. But where I bet you, they'll do something exactly like what they did tonight. I thought that Luke was coming back tonight. When they did the whole, you knew that somebody else was coming. I was like, oh shit, is Luke back? And then it's fucking Eric Rowan.
And then once Eric Rowan got RKO'd, I thought, and here comes Luke. And then, nope, okay. All right.
Oh, I knew once Eric was revealed, that was it. I
had a feeling that was it, but I also was like, they could also do it here, and then they didn't. So
no. But what I think is going to happen is one of two things. Either one, what happened tonight will happen again, and then it'll be Luke Harper, and it'll be back to the original Wyatt family. Or two, we'll get a surprise Luke Harper return, maybe at the next pay-per-view. And
that'd be good. But it would still
do the wrong thing, which is make Harper the babyface against heel Bray. But it should be It should be the other way around.
I'm enraged.
He'll come back and he'll be the babyface.
I feel like what they should do is they should, at this point, probably turn Ambrose heel, Bray babyface, and have him run alone. And I don't, because they got to do something different, and they don't know how to do it as heel. They don't know how to book him as a heel. I feel like Bray is talented enough as a speaker. If he's speaking on behalf of the audience, then maybe he can make it work on his own. And they tend to put baby faces over, so he's in a better position to actually win. I don't know, man. It's so frustrating because he's so good. Bray Wyatt may be one of the most, he may be the most intriguing top guy that WWE could even have, and they just don't know how to do it. So I don't know. It's just,
and they had lightning. They had lightning in the
it's
bottle.
just a pity
with him.
Yeah,
they had lightning in the bottle with him one night that he was babyface on Raw with Roman when they tagged together,
and then they fucking threw it in the trash can. And first off, he was amazing and so over his entire Daniel Bryan feud, and it carried over into the Cena feud until he lost. And then into the feud with Dean Ambrose till he lost. And then the feud with fucking Kane and whatever. It's like, yeah. It's just
we
a
have
shame.
There's a site that we're both from that has another podcast that does SmackDown. And actually, funny enough, what you just said, one of those people said.
Hi, Tanya.
That would be Miss Tanya Rogers.
I'm sure it's Tanya. I know it's Tanya.
It was Tanya.
She's awesome. Tanya Rogers.
Yeah, she pretty much said exactly what you just said.
She's awesome. Anyway, she's smart. I think anybody who is over the age of 13 or so kind of sees where they probably should go with Bray and could actually handle it, and the younger kids could probably handle it too. I don't know, man. You just got to make him different, and you got to it's the same when Steve Austin criticized Dean Ambrose on his podcast and said, you got to be more edgy. You've got to bring out the old stuff you used to do. It's essentially what they need to do with Bray Wyatt as well if they're going to run him as a heel, because it's darker, grittier, and a more adult version of a character, and that's some part of your show has to be directed towards the adults who like that kind of stuff. I mean, it feels like WWE caters to a lot of different audiences, but they don't really cater to the adult who is, I don't know how to say it, who is mentally kind of taking a darker road. And I feel like we all have that in ourselves, where like you have those thoughts during the day where you're just, what the fuck am I thinking? And it doesn't happen every day, obviously, but like, it makes you question who you really are. And Bray kind of personifies that, and they just don't know what to do with it. And it's just kind of frustrating. It's the reason why people like Game of Thrones so much, and why they like, I don't know pop culture shows that well. I do love Game of Thrones, though. You can help me out if you can think of anything. But it's the reason why they like Heath Ledger in Batman. Like, those kind of characters and those kind of topics appeal to people, and WWE has no grasp on how to do those. So,
yeah. And you know what's really interesting?
It's frustrating.
I know we weren't going to do a long podcast here, so I feel bad.
Yeah, I got to study for a test, y'all. College is shitty.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, what you were just saying about I'm taking a psychology class now, so I know all about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And think about how great it would be if Bray could bring to life because that's what his character is derived from, and that's what he likes to do. He talks about these political things and his way of thinking in the world. Like, if you hear him just talk outside of WWE in like an interview or something, and he talks about these things, and you're just like, why are we not doing this? Like, I don't have anything else to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's get to the show.
Okay.
I can. What I was going to talk about was on the Raw side, but we can do that next week.
We'll talk about it next week. Now that we've got our YouTube new live stream bullshit figured out, we can do that.
Yes.
Anyway.
I might even try to commandeer these things more.
Commandeer? Yeah, go for it. You just have to learn how to do it on the site too, but that's not hard. I can show you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can also see us on the website, thesmarkcity.com, by the way.
Yes, maybe you'll still be in charge of all that stuff. I tend to forget that.
Probably.
So, start of the show was probably one of the best opening segments of Raw or SmackDown this year.
Yes. I thought it got worse when Shane came out there.
Yeah,
but the moment that AJ comes out and just is a shithead, and then Cena comes out and it's immediately serious. Number one, because it's Cena. Number two, because it's AJ Styles. But number three, Cena's going for his, I guess, record-breaking, but we all know Flair has a lot more title reigns. Anyway, his record-breaking 16th WWE Championship, and that adds immediate, oh shit, he may get it kind of implications to their feud. And then Dean comes out, and then what John said to Dean, my God. Go for it.
That was probably,
oh my God,
the shootiest of shoots that you could.
I don't know if it was a shoot.
Oh, no,
I think it was
probably wasn't a shoot, no.
I think it's partially a shoot. I think it was partially Cena saying, for real though, dude, we want you, we think you have the the ability to run with this, but you got to bring something new. And I think Ambrose proved Cena and Austin right with his response.
Every single criticism that came to Ambrose after that Stone Cold podcast, Cena just let it all out.
Yep. And it was a bombshell, and it made everybody, I know it made both you and I perk up and just go, oh my God. Mm-hmm. And then and like the crowd just cheers and chants because they're into it. They like the confrontation, and that's the problem. Is there are not enough real there aren't enough confrontations in WWE that make you feel like these two people hate each other. That felt like a moment where Dean just said, "You know what? I'm going to destroy you, John. I hate you now."
And Dean actually came back. He held his own, I think.
I don't think he did.
You don't?
I don't think he did. I thought he sounded very, very good. But the context of what he was saying proved Cena and Austin right. I didn't think he came back hard enough. His delivery was wonderful. His delivery was excellent because Ambrose is great at that. But basically he said, you think I care what you think? And then he kind of goes into it and doesn't really say anything
I thought the whole,
nearly as impressive as
Hollywood
Cena just said.
movie stuff, I thought that was all good. He called him a Hollywood guy. And I mean, that's every single thing that Cena ever said about The Rock.
Yeah, but I feel like you could have hammered it home better, is what I'm saying. I feel like he didn't get edgy enough with it, which is the criticism here. I feel like he should have been like, you know what? You are becoming what you hated. You are a shell of what you used to be, and you're becoming exactly what you criticized in the past. So screw you for ever thinking you could ever call me out. Like, because you're not even a wrestler anymore. You're a part-timer. And he didn't really – it wasn't offensive enough, I guess, is my point. He just kind of did his normal groove and glide around the ring, say his words, and it just didn't hit as hard as what Cena said.
Let's be honest, though. The main players are really Cena and AJ.
Yeah. I feel like Ambrose is not a player until he turns heel. I feel like that was it. It's over. I don't know if he did yet. I think it's kind of like what Seth did, where they're both kind of tweeners now, and they're just progressively going to start leaning more and more to one way. But, man, I'll tell you this. Ambrose was excellent in what he said to AJ Styles, where he said, you know what, when you did what you did to me, you made me an enemy. And
so you like that better?
I liked that better because that's more confrontational, a little more real. But then Cena pulls him aside and says, "You're pissed because he kicked you in the nuts when you crotched him on the ring, and you're surprised he did that to you? Like, fuck off, Ambrose." And then he goes on to say, like, you are everything that Austin criticized. You are literally. And oh my God, it was just so much better than what Ambrose had to say in retaliation. And I feel like Ambrose is still searching for that way to be different, but not what he used to be, which was rated R. You know?
I mean, you can't really be rated. All right, since we're really getting into that conversation, I have to bring up what I was going to bring up before.
All right, go ahead.
Today, the Raw ratings came out, and they were literally shit. Like,
no, they weren't literally shit. Let's use the words correctly.
Well, okay, they were
figuratively shit.
Awful, but figuratively shit.
There you go. Literally means that their ratings were just someone took a shit.
It was pretty much like someone took a shit. So,
that's
I don't know if you saw what they were.
They were like 2.5 or something like that.
Yeah, it was really, really low.
Awful.
Really low.
It's because Balor's hurt, man.
Yeah, save that gimmick for Cage.
No, it's not a gimmick. It's my favorite wrestler.
I know, I'm kidding. So basically, I was having a conversation today, and I was saying that, because this is such a train wreck, I mean, that's a train wreck. What is it that we can do to solve this problem before the USA Network steps in? Well,
the USA is not going to step in because even a 2.5 is immensely better than any other show they could put in there.
But that's not what they want.
That's not what they want, but they're going to – the WWE has enough that they can say and be like, well, look, it's the first Monday Night Football game of the year. I mean, they got a lot they can say to bide time. It's
Well, yeah, we'll have to see what happens next week. But,
it'll be higher, but it's probably gonna still be bad. It'll be like a 2.7, 2.8, something like that.
and I mean, the cruiserweights are coming next week too.
Yeah,
It should be higher.
yeah, but I feel like they didn't. First off, I didn't even watch Raw that well. Here's the one thing I will say. I think it is absolutely possible that now that they've moved to Tuesdays and SmackDown has been rebranded and stuff, that they're going to start beating Raw on a consistent basis during football season.
I completely agree.
That's a potential. Like, that possibly could happen, and I would not be surprised.
And it should happen.
Yeah, it really should.
And the cruiserweights should really be on SmackDown.
They totally should be, but the problem is that Raw needs the content.
That's true. Yeah.
Raw's problem is that, okay, SmackDown had 1 to 2 segments that were this today, and that's 80% of the show is fantastic, and then there's like 20% where you're just like, whatever, it's fine. With Raw, you have an amazing main event. You have Rollins and Owens, obviously, is the main event. Reigns, Rusev is great. Zayn, Jericho is great. And then you have the women, and their kind of 4-way feud at the moment is great. And then what else is there to watch that you enjoy? They're mismanaging New Day. They're mismanaging the club. What else do you like? The Shining Stars? Is that your bag? I don't know. So that's the problem. So the cruiserweights are really going to help, but
how much will it help?
Well, it's going to be like an hour of content because there's 8 of them.
But we don't even know what they're going to be doing with it. I mean, we don't know if they're going to dedicate a whole hour to it. Are they going to do kind of? Isn't that like kind of what WCW did?
I was not watching at the time, so I can't tell you. What I would say is I doubt they're going to do an hour just straight of it, but I think it's going to be an hour worth of content every week where, like, I feel like the first thing they're going to do is they're going to give each of them a match to kind of introduce themselves, and they'll probably introduce a tournament for the first title contender. It probably will be Neville, or will be the first Cruiserweight champion, I'm assuming. And then you got Neville versus Noam Dar versus Kota Ibushi versus, like, come on, man. They're not going to be – like, Raw's going to get better by a lot, but it's, you know, it's still going to suffer from the lack of a tag team division and the lack of depth because no one wants to see Titus O'Neil, Darren Young.
No. So. No. And as a matter of fact, speaking of the club and New Day, I didn't even watch that segment. There was about
I didn't either.
I want to say about I didn't. I mean, well, so look, I got a job now. You have school. I have school also. I have school and a job. And you have school, and you know, Mr. Gentrification, Chris Marshall, he has a job. We're all, you know, we all have our own lives, and D2, you know, we all have our own lives. We weren't able to tweet last night. And I guess in a way, I could have actually jumped on when I got home, but I just didn't want to.
There's no compelling reason to go out of your way to watch the product at the moment. And part of it is, I mean, look, part of it is the fact that you have Backlash the night before, and then SmackDown the night after, and then the Cruiserweight Finals Wednesday, and it's just a lot of wrestling, and Raw is just not good enough at the moment to warrant watching it. I mean, I can get the main event scene from YouTube. I don't need to.
Right.
It's the state of the show right now, and they gotta figure that out.
And honestly, that was the first time I haven't watched Raw.
Still talking
live
Raw on a SmackDown pod. That's the problem. Is that SmackDown was so good, we have nothing to complain about.
Okay. So basically, here's the end of the SmackDown review. A- from me. A from you? Too?
I gave it an A. I was going to give it a B+ into that main event segment where Dean Ambrose did his thing, and I'm just like, fuck it, it's an A.
Okay,
it's part of it is an A based on, you know, what I thought SmackDown was capable of, because they're clearly surpassing it. I mean, just hats off, man. I feel like they've got the NXT writer on that show. I know they do, actually. The former NXT, I don't remember his name. I think his last name is Ryan Ward. He is like the main writer on that show, and they're killing it. So
They really are. They really are, yeah.
Yeah.
And me, A minus, you, A. That's the SmackDown review, because really everything was just great on SmackDown. So you all watched it. If you've clicked on our link, WWE SmackDown review for this day, you know it was a great show. So that's why we really aren't talking about it that much, because it was just really great. And I think we're more inherently like that. What we do more when we're talking is we talk more about the negative things sometimes.
I try not to, but the negative things are the things with the most depth to discuss, because we're trying to find solutions. I think that's the difference, and that's what I would compel anybody who's watching the show. And, you know, that's amazing if you are, and I appreciate it. And I shouldn't have to tell you anything to dictate what you should do. But I feel like there's a lot of people who just in life hate on things without offering any kind of constructive advice or any kind of thoughts on how to improve something. And it shouldn't always be your job to, as a, I mean, you're a consumer of wrestling. Like, you are a customer of WWE, and you should have your desires met. But, you know, I feel like most of our issues are usually with the way they dictate what the talent does, not a problem with the talent, because we love these guys and gals who entertain us week in and week out. And, you know, I just try to have a more positive, or how can we fix it kind of approach to things, and or especially with wrestling. And, you know, there's nothing to fix on SmackDown. That's the great thing. There's nothing to fix. They had Heath Slater and Rhino versus the fucking Ascension tonight, and I ate it up.
Yeah,
that should fucking tell you how SmackDown's doing.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, like, I hate the Ascension. I could give two shits about them.
I don't hate the Ascension, but I just don't care about the Ascension.
Well, yeah, hate is a strong word.
Yeah, and then they come out and you're like, oh shit, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. I want to see this.
Yeah, and for a second, I was like, you know what? With the Heath Slater angle that they're doing right now, oh shit! I hope that I actually
get that double wide trailer, baby.
double wide.
That's such a sad attempt at a Southern accent.
Yeah, well, I wasn't trying to attempt it.
Drew's from Brooklyn, just to give you an idea. I live in Tennessee, so
I wasn't trying to attempt it.
Well, I guess you didn't. I guess not.
How about you try talk Brooklyn? Come on.
Try to talk Brooklyn? I don't know what a Brooklyn accent sounds like.
How I sound?
I feel like I'm talking how you sound.
You're not.
Am I? Okay, whatever.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is, yeah, I almost thought that maybe because of what they're doing with Heath right now, they would actually take the tag titles off of them. Just for a split second, I thought.
No. It's the Ascension with no build. Come on.
Hey.
Come on.
All right.
I was like, no way. No way. But, you know, I feel like he's not going to have a long reign, because Rhino's technically a part-time. I feel like the Usos are going to win it from them on the first chance they get.
Yeah, probably. And how about the Usos tonight, too? They looked fresh. They looked absolutely like the dick heels that they always should have been.
I agree. They are, you know, and everybody knew they were talented, but what they're doing as heels right now is just what the doctor ordered, man. I mean, my God, Usos, you guys are phenomenal. Everyone's phenomenal. You see what I'm doing there? Because the champion's the phenomenal one. Everybody's phenomenal.
SmackDown is the phenomenal brand.
The champ that runs the camp. That's not a great phrase, but you know.
No, I didn't like that.
The champ that runs the camp. What I love is he just owned it and said it like 7 times. I'm the champ that runs the camp, damn it. That's great. And part of that is good. I'm cutting you off real quick, but part of that is it's a cheap imitation of Cena, and it's a less good version of the face that runs the place, which is the point. So, like, the fact that it is a bad phrase is a good thing, honestly.
Like during the old days, like Raw, Gallows and Anderson were absolutely playing up the fact that that was a terrible segment, and they knew it was a terrible segment.
Yeah.
They were just being
the club guys know how to take a shitty segment and just make it great by owning it. They're very good at
and
that.
I feel like that's what AJ is doing with the champ that runs the camp.
Yeah, I think so too. And it could be that that the writing team understands the irony of how bad that is compared to Cena's phrase, or what is commonly put on Cena. So
I love that he also started the promo by saying the champ is here.
Yeah. And I love how he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll give you your fucking headband, armband back. Here you go. Yeah. I'm the champ after all. I don't have to worry about this." And then Cena's like, you still have something that belongs to me. I was like, oh shit, here we go. Anyway, we should talk about Alexa Bliss real quick, and then we'll sign off because I got to study and all that shit. Did I call it or did I call it?
You did.
I fucking called it. I knew, like, okay, clearly Carmella and Nikki are doing their storyline. That's going to be away from the belts. Neither of them are going to be the first contender. Natalya was the only heel other than Alexa Bliss, and I felt like Natalya is probably not going to be the first one because she's already feuded with Becky. And I feel like it's such a great thing to have Becky Lynch leading a program with a younger, very talented wrestler. I'm so happy. I'm so fucking happy about that feud. I'm going to love it because Alexa Bliss has gotten so much better at wrestling, and as a heel and talker, she's always been on point 100% ever since she turned heel on NXT. So I'm super ready for this feud. Fucking love the new look too. Like, I would rather. I think I like her old one better, where she was with the red and the Banff colors, and she looked a little more evil that way.
Harley Quinn, right?
The Harley Quinn look. I mean, it's killer, dude. I mean, it's different, and I may prefer the other one, but this one's killer. And
I think it works on her.
It does. She rocks it. I love the black with like the blue and is it pink or is it? I think it's powdery kind of pink and blue. It doesn't look as girly as normal for a lot of former women wearing stuff, and it just looks more badass. And I love it. So Alexa Bliss is amazing. Becky Lynch is amazing. Their feud is going to be spectacular.
The only dud for me on the women's side for SmackDown is Natalya, to be honest with you. I mean, I love everybody else. And she has her moments, but like the whole yay thing, I genuinely laughed out loud when she did that tonight, but I don't like it.
I feel like she's not as mean as the other two heels here. Carmella and Nikki, or not Nikki, but Carmella and Alexa are just much more real, and Natalya's like, it feels like an act.
You know what? To me, it feels like she's a nice person that is trying to hang out with people that she wouldn't normally involve in her inner circle.
Yeah, and then she had a promo. She had a promo a couple weeks. I think it was on Becky. It doesn't really matter who it was on, where she 1 minute was kind of totally great. Like, I was really into it. And then it was because she was like motivated a certain way, and then she just kind of turned snobby and it petered out. And I feel like part of it is she doesn't have a heel identity quite ironed out of what her motivations are and things like that. And I feel like if she could figure that out, she could still do really, really well as a heel. But if not, I don't know. I feel like they got to turn her back babyface at some point.
I don't know. I feel like they could. Who? What other? I mean, so it's them and then Eva, and
Eva, I love Eva.
let's not get into that.
She's gonna be back next week. Yay!
That's wonderful.
Oh,
Anyway,
dude, if she and Alexa team up to take down Becky, woo, woo.
hang on, I'm in control of this thing now, so I can mute you every time you mention.
Please don't.
Please don't mention it.
Okay.
I only mentioned her because she's part of the roster. Now,
well, that's sad. You should respect
stop.
the wrestlers who put their bodies on.
I'm in the control room on this fucking thing. You better shut up.
Okay, Mom.
You see your line moving? You see adjusting audio? Be quiet.
Yes, Mom.
Motherfucker. Anyway. So yeah, I feel
hashtag like Mommy Drew.
Hashtag Big Money Drew, baby.
Go ahead.
I'll try and heal on all you motherfuckers. Okay?
No, don't. Well, first off, okay.
I feel like they should replace Natty with somebody else, like Summer Rae or. Speaking of, well, actually, I think Summer Rae would be perfect.
Is she on a roster? Do we even know she's on a roster? I haven't seen her.
I think she's on Raw, but
they're not using her.
She hasn't been. What?
They're not using her. I would flip Natalya and Summer Rae.
They got swagger, so.
Oh, God damn it!
I know, but
apparently they can make trades. They should be able to make trades.
Yeah, I just I feel like she should just go to Raw, and maybe she could have a program with I don't know, like Dana or something.
Yeah. That would be a good. I would like that. That'd be fun.
I feel like SmackDown needs a different. I mean, right now, if you really think about it, Carmella and Alexa are like right at the top of the top heel alignments on SmackDown for the women's side.
Well, technically, Alexa's on top because Carmella's in the secondary feud. So yeah,
well, true.
I mean, they haven't booked Alexa as that yet, but they're going to clearly because now that's her spot. I'm glad they did it, man. I'm glad I felt like she was getting lost over Carmella, and I was like, but Alexa's better as a heel, though. I mean, even though Carmella's been a godsend, I'm like, I know Alexa's better, so I want to see her. I'm glad they put her there.
I'm glad that they went this route because Nikki and Carmella is a great feud that they shouldn't hold off on.
Yeah, I agree. So that's SmackDown. It's excellent. I think anybody who's watched it knows it's excellent. They are putting together a streak of consistently brilliant shows, and you should be watching it if you're not.
You really should.
Yeah. Tomorrow we have perhaps the best show WWE produces, the Cruiserweight Classic. How fucking stoked are you for that?
2 hours.
2 hours.
NXT, and I believe there'll be, if I read something today correctly, I believe that they're crowning the Cruiserweight champion for Raw that will be the winner. So that person who wins, I think, is going to be the Cruiserweight champion going into Raw next week.
Wow, that's crazy. I hope they don't.
Don't quote me on that.
Don't
quote me on that because I might have read something wrong.
I feel like they shouldn't just to have another tournament. I mean, because it's been so good, and I feel like Raw needs it. I'm just happy the Cruiserweight Classic is a thing. It's so fun. What's nice about 2 hours is clearly we're going to get some other matches or something, because 3 matches. I know it's 3 matches, but still.
Aren't there technically more cruiserweights than anything on the roster?
You mean on the current Raw roster?
Yeah. I mean, even on SmackDown too. Like,
I don't think so. Potentially.
I don't know how
I don't know what the weights are. Well, first off, they said the cruiserweight weight limit's 205. So yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably split the cruiserweight division and have a cruiserweight division on SmackDown.
You could. That'd be fun. I feel like I remember seeing a rumor where they're saying they want to see how the Raw cruiserweight class or cruiserweight division goes, and if it does well, they're going to put one on SmackDown too.
I think they should.
Yeah,
because I mean,
SmackDown
for cruiserweights on SmackDown. I think that's what they should have done to begin with.
So who you got? Let's make our predictions real quick. We'll try to do a recap podcast tomorrow of the Cruiserweight Classic. If you would love to hang out with us there, but who you got? Who's your winner?
I predicted in my brackets. I predicted that it was going to be Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. And I feel like Ibushi will win.
I'm in the same boat. You have the four finalists or semifinalists, if you don't know. T.J. Perkins, Grand Metalik, Kota Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr. I could see T.J. winning. Is the semifinals Ibushi versus T.J.? I don't know it off the top of my head.
I can tell you because I actually printed out the paper that they had, and I've been writing it down ever since the beginning.
I think that's it.
I must be a mark. I think I'm a mark.
Yeah, of course you are.
Okay, so we have Ibushi versus TJP and Metalik versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, so Sabre Jr. is going to beat Grand Metalik. Maybe he won't because Sabre's not signed with WWE yet, and Metalik is. So maybe he won't. I feel like that would be a mistake because I feel like if you got Zack Sabre Jr. in a finals, you put him in the fucking finals. I mean, it's not rocket science. Sabre, I think, should go. I wouldn't totally write Metalik off. Ibushi versus T.J. Perkins. My God, that match is going to be so good. I would probably have to say 75% chance Ibushi wins. Because I feel like, man, if you got Ibushi and Sabre Jr., you got to make them fight. You got to. Right?
Yeah.
So then you make Ibushi the cruiserweight winner, I believe, because Sabre's not signed. I think that's how it goes. I was doing a cruiserweight contender series on our website before we had some website difficulties, and I had our top 10 contenders, and I think they were Tozawa. Let me see if I can name them all. Tozawa, Grand Metalik, Noam Dar, Rich Swann, Sabre, Ibushi, Alexander. I got the last three. The Brian Kendrick, and then Gargano and Ciampa. And I feel like my top 10 contenders did pretty fucking well in this. I totally whiffed on TJ, though. Totally whiffed on TJ. I can't believe I left him out, and I just forgot about him. So
if you happen to be listening to this, TJ, we're very sorry.
TJ, I prostrate myself before you. I'm sorry. I fucked up. You are so amazing. I fucked that up. So, yeah, my bad. That's on me.
That's on you.
Pulling our truth. My bad, man. That was on me.
So actually, except for Gargano and Ciampa, you pretty much picked the
finals.
The semifinals.
Yeah, and I shout out to Alexander because I had him number 3. And I had Ibushi number 1, Sabre number 2, Alexander number 3. And guess what happened when number 3 and number 1 fought? Alexander gets a fucking contract. So
you had every single aside all of your 8 that you picked besides Gargano and Ciampa. You said you picked Swann, TJP, Kendrick, Ibushi, Tozawa, Metalik, Zack Sabre Jr., and Noam Dar.
Yeah, I think the reason why I left TJ off actually was because I think he fought Gargano. I think that was a match. And I fucked up because I thought Gargano was clearly going to win that. Not so fast. TJ was amazing. So
yeah,
my bad.
Every single person except for TJP and Gargano and Ciampa were whatever is before the semifinals, because I know the semifinals will be tomorrow and then the finals.
Yeah.
Whatever is before the semifinals, you cleaned house with that.
Cleaned
You got them
house.
all.
I'm a smart guy. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about? I think we've kind of covered it. SmackDown's just amazing. Watch the fucking show if you're not watching the show because it is that good.
I'm still petitioning to change the name of our site to SmackDown City and forget about Smark, but
We just
to no avail right now.
Smack City. I don't know.
Smack.
I don't know. That would require another domain name change and all
Yeah,
that.
we're not going to get into any of that stuff. So.
Yeah, you know. Anyway.
But I could just change the name on Twitter.
That's true. You could. I would rather you didn't, but you could.
I won't.
Anyway, I think that's it, man.
That's it. That we're since I know how to do this now, we could probably get like a 20 or 30-minute thing done after the CWC tomorrow.
Yeah, totally. Well, the tables are turned. You got to lead us out of here.
Oh. How do I end this show? How do I end this show?
Well, first off, you should plug everything that we have so people can actually.
You already did that.
Well, I did the website.
All right, fine.
Fuck it, I'll just do it.
Okay.
If you've liked us talking and being terrible at our wrestling opinions, we are also on Twitter at the Smark City. We would love it if you'd want to follow us and talk shit with wrestling with us. That'd be great. We'd love to talk to you. Our website is thesmarkcity.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/thesmarkcity. Come hang out with us. We like to talk, clearly.
And really, the guy named Alex really likes to talk.
I love to talk. Anyway, I need to go study for a test, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to be up till 3.
Quite a while now.
I'm going to be up till 3. This is bullshit.
That's okay.
Don't go to school, kids. School is bullshit. Let me tell you. That is the motto. That is the life lesson from this podcast. School is bullshit. Make that the name of the YouTube video. School is bullshit. First off, SmackDown review, school is bullshit. That'll get views.
You know what?
I'll get them views.
It might actually just get you.
School is bullshit. I think everybody will click it and go, agreed, let's listen.
But seriously, on a serious note, stay in school, kids.